So we're chatting today about the new season of Mama June Road to Redemption. This season, we see your mom and Gino after they went to rehab and got clean. What was your reaction when you found out that they had decided to really work on themselves and made that decision to get sober?
I kind of feel like really I was like torn because for so long my mom had been in and out of several rehabs at this point, and it just like become overwhelming, like mentally and physically for me, because it's like, okay, is this time going to be different? Like, is she really going to go through it? Are they really going to work on themselves? Because all the things that we heard that time, we heard previous times before.
And what made this time different? Have you seen any of those positive changes with them, or how have things been different this time?
I feel like things have been like different this time because mama seems like she's wanting to like go. And before she was like, no, I will not do inpatient rehab. I will not do rehab. And like this time it's like more like she's willingly wanting to go.
And Access Hollywood recently chatted with your mom, and she got really honest with us about the depths of her addiction and revealed to us that she spent nearly $1 million fueling her substance abuse the last year of her addiction, and that she and Gino were living in their car. Did you and your family have any idea just how bad things have gotten with them?
In that last year, honestly, if I'm being completely honest, no, I did not know how bad it had become. I knew that there obviously was a problem, but after I moved Alana out of the house that you guys seen on last season, I kind of started to work on myself. Like I started, me and Alana both started therapy and really started to work on ourselves, because that was a negative part of my life that I was willing to let go at the time. And I didn't really want to intervene because I had 2 kids to worry about. I had a family of my own that I had to get together. So really for me, it was more of just like wanting to protect the kids and protect myself.
And you've really stepped up as sort of a mother figure to your sister, Alana. How has it been for you kind of stepping into that role? I can't imagine how it must feel having to see your sister go through something like this with your mom.
It's definitely hard because now I have to play 2 roles. Like I'm trying to be her sister, and I'm also having to be her mom. Like I have to set the rules that a sister shouldn't have to set, and that is what kind of sucks for me. I struggle with that, I think, still to this day. And I've had custody of Alana now for going on 2 years, but it's a struggle. And it's hard to see Alana in that place because Alana is the type of person to shut down. She doesn't want to talk about it. And for me, that's frustrating as not only a sister, but as a parent too, because I do want to know what's going on, and I don't want Alana to feel a certain type of way, like she's a child. I want her to be a child.
And speaking of you kind of stepping up in that way, in the next episode, we see that your mom reaches out to you and she wants to meet with you and Alana. What was your reaction when you got that call from your mom?
When I get that call from my mom, obviously my reaction is I still feel like I need time. For so long, me and Alana and my entire family really were on my mom's time. And at that point, and even still now, it's like, you're on my time now. Everything during your addiction, and that was on you and Gino's time, and y'all didn't really care. Well, now it's time to like just let me have my space and breathe, really.
And what do you think it would take for you and your family to mend your relationship with your mom?
I think it would take a lot. I don't think that it's something that can definitely be healed overnight, or something that can be worked on or fixed overnight. My mama done, it's not just 2 years of damage. I mean, it's a whole, lifelong lies and everything like that. It's a whole process that we honestly have to work through as a family. I don't know if it'll get to that point, and I'm not saying that it won't get to that point.
What is your relationship like now? Are you still in contact with your mom, or are you just working on mending that relationship still?
I think we're still just working on mending the relationship, honestly. Like I said, it does take time, and it's hard for sure. I mean, it's my mom. I love her, and I've always loved her, even through her addiction. But sometimes I just have to step back.
I can't imagine going through the situation that you're going through, not just in general. And you're going through this on such a public platform in front of like all of America. What is it like having these kind of events in your life unfold for the public to see?
I've honestly been very grateful, especially for the past 2 seasons. The first, season with last season, it was covering addiction. We have found Alana especially has become friends with so many people who their moms have gone through addiction, and now, they're mending their relationship. They're working on things. Because before we kind of felt like, oh, my mom, was titled as a crackhead. So, oh, my mom's a crackhead, and nobody else goes through that. But come to find out, like, I feel like our story has helped so many more people. Like, if you're going through addiction or something like that, people know that they are willingly allowed to, message us on social media platforms and anything. Because at the end of the day, our fans are what keeps us going. Our fans are what keeps the show coming every Friday night. So ultimately for me, I think it's just so great that we're able to broadcast something like that, because a lot of people aren't comfortable with talking about it, or they don't know how to talk about it. And I feel like our show kind of gives you the little pamphlet on how to do that.
Touching on that, it has been in general a taboo subject of addiction and the surrounding issues that can come with having a family member who is suffering with that type of illness. What advice would you give to fans who are dealing with addiction or dealing with a loved one who has addiction issues?
Well, I always say, and I always tell people, just think of it this way, like, addiction doesn't just affect the addict. It affects the entire family itself. Like, y'all have seen that firsthand from our family itself. It infects everybody, like, I mean, down to your pets, honestly. And, for me, the advice that I would give is it takes time. It does. And you can't force help if help isn't wanted.
Do you think that this is going to be a new chapter for June and Gino? What are you hoping for them in their future?
I mean, I really do hope that this is a new chapter for them. I hope that they, stay clean if they are clean, things like that. But for the future, everybody knows how I kind of feel about Gino. So, I mean, I kind of do hope that maybe my mama goes on a different path or something like that, for sure.
And I was going to actually ask about Gino. So are you in contact with him, or are you just kind of trying to fix things with your mom at this point and Gino's not really in the picture for you?
I think honestly for me, it's just fixing things with my mom, because addiction, no addiction, Gino to me is a temporary person, just like my husband would be a temporary person, because family is forever. My mom isn't going to leave, like, she may have left us for a little bit, but ultimately, like, at the end of the day, like, I know my mom would be there for me. And the same thing with us sisters as well.
And I was going to actually ask about the bond of your family, because in this episode, we see you and your sister both really advocating for giving second chances to people in your family. Why is that something that's important to you? Because I know some people, like, especially if it's not their blood family, it's like hard for them to understand that bond.
I think it's hard to give people second chances. I mean, definitely, for sure. It's not something that's just easy, like, oh, here's a second chance.
Mhm.
But for me, like, I've learned what second chance is. If the first time you made a mistake and it's not a repeat thing, or it's not happening every time and it's just an excuse every time, then I do feel like, okay, if you mess up this one time, you do deserve a second chance. But now I don't believe in third or fourth or fifth chances and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But I do believe that people, especially people in addiction, they just get on the wrong path. They hang out with the wrong kind of people. They get in a relationship with the wrong kind of people. Because, I mean, there's people around us that are just in the wrong situation at the wrong time. And it's like, I believe that addicts, for sure, if they want the help and they are willing to show you, I do feel like they deserve a second chance.
So the upcoming episode of the show also shows Sugar Bear, who opens up about his health issues and wanting to reconnect with Alana. What do you think it would take for Alana and him to mend their relationship?
I'm not really sure what it would take for Alana and Sugar Bear to mend their relationship back together. I honestly don't believe that there's any hope left. If I'm being completely honest, from the person that's physically been taking care of Alana for so long, I really don't see it, because I feel like Alana is at the point in her life where she's like, well, you should have been doing that 15 years ago, And I can't say that I blame her.
And how is Alana doing these days? Because it seems like she's I can't even imagine what she's gone through with both of her parents having this kind of falling out of the family. I'm really happy that she has you and your husband there together as a support system for her. But what has it been like, and how is she doing?
I think that has definitely been hard for her. I mean, at 15, who can imagine their mom falling off the bandwagon into an addiction, having to move in with your sister, and really all the things, and I think it is hard for her, but I think that Alana still manages to do well. She keeps her grades up in school, and some people have stuff to say about her long nails and her long lashes and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I'd rather her be wearing long lashes and long nails, considering what she's been through, like it is what it is. Like she said, it is fashion now. And I can't do the long nails and the long lashes, but I think that she looks pretty with them. So
what do you hope that fans will take away from watching this season of the show?
I just hope that they'll understand that family is important. At the end of the day, all you have is family. And we try to show that even at the beginning of a complete thunderstorm, at the end of it, there's always a rainbow. Because I also feel like too, that they'll learn that marriages aren't perfect, relationships aren't perfect and stuff like that. And it's okay. Like everybody's not perfect. Everybody's not this cookie cutter family, because we definitely sure are not.
I feel like a lot of your fans can relate to a lot of things that go on the show, because you are like a real family, and nothing, it's not staged or anything. And
Right.
I've seen that lots of fans like show so much support for you, like in the comments and just on social media. What's it been like for you seeing those messages of support and also people who can relate to what's going on in your life?
I think it's nice. I think it's nice to have somebody who doesn't completely know me just from, they just watch me on Friday nights. Like I've run into a lot of people, specifically who are like, oh, we can relate to y'all so much. And, we're like the biggest fans. And that really does, like, it makes my heart happy at the end of the day. Like it truly does make my heart happy, because I know that I made an impact somewhere. It may have been small. It could have been big. It could have been, the tiniest thing in the world to somebody. But to me, like when somebody says something nice, all the nice comments definitely outweigh the bad, that's for sure. And it could be 100 negative comments and one person that sticks out and says something super nice. And it really does make me and Alana's day. And I honestly do know for sure that it does make Alana's day, because, there's, like I said, there's people commenting underneath her stuff about what she wears or how she does certain things. And I mean, that just comes with being famous too.
Well, I wish you and your family the best, and I really hope that this is a new chapter for your mom and that everything can hopefully work itself out in the end. Because like you said, I also agree that family is probably the most important thing,
right?
And the bonds that you have. So I wish you all the best, and thank you so much for chatting with me today.
Thank you.